I also want to point out that I introduced my mom to spicy books. Is that not so funny and weird?
So weird.
She's not actually looking at that. That's a horrible book. I didn't pick a bad read. I didn't pick a great read. Welcome to today's reading video. Today I have a very special guest. Come on in. Meet my mom. My mom likes to read the same kinds of books that I do, so I'm very excited for today's video. She's going to pick my next reads. I said you could pick 4, right?
You did.
I could probably read 4 in a week.
What if I pick a really crappy one?
And then I just don't read it.
But, I mean, to be fair, I picked your books when you were little and you loved them.
And I loved them. I know. So me and my mom have been reading all the same books, but I have been picking everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm on Book Talk and you're not. I introduced you to A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Very good.
Throne of Glass.
Yes.
Crescent City.
Yes.
Oh, and we read, what was it? The Letters of Enchantment series. What was, yeah, Divine Rivals. We read that recently, so we've been reading a lot of fantasy.
The thing is, I have to read them after you, so I don't...
So you're probably going to get good ones.
Yeah, I don't really want to prank you.
Are you going to stick with fantasy, or are you going to be like, let's read some biographies?
Oh, I'm not a big on biographies.
You just read the Alan Rickman
Well,
one.
I did read Alan Rickman,
You were supposed to bring that for me.
And I didn't.
You didn't.
I've
What
been
kind
liking
of
thrillers.
books draw you in? Oh, thrillers.
Yeah, I have been. You know, I borrowed a couple from you that were
did?
thrillers, and I enjoyed those. Very quick reads, which
They
is nice
are.
too, because I'm doing 50 books this
Mom's,
year.
yeah. How many books did you read last year? Did you keep track?
I only read like maybe 17 or 18.
But you read the entire Court of Thorns and Roses. You read the whole Sarah J. Maas universe, and those are like some monster books.
And I read them
think it's
twice.
17. Yeah, she's like a big rereader. Or like if a book's coming out, she's like, oh, I'm gonna reread the first one first. I'm not. I'm like, I'm just gonna wing it. I watched some videos on what happened last, and she's a big rereader. I'm not. So maybe you read 17 books, but did you really read like 32 books?
Yeah.
34? 34 books? Yeah. I'm not a rereader. So what are we gonna get? Do you think you're gonna go based off of like covers, or are you gonna like read them?
I'm gonna have to read them.
Okay.
Covers are deceiving.
They are deceiving.
Yeah.
It can look like a good cover and it's a bad book.
Because I wouldn't have read
I wouldn't have read Throne of Glass. They look
Oh yeah, those
so
covers.
nerdy.
Yeah, those covers are terrible.
I also want to point out that I introduced my mom to spicy books. Is that not so funny and weird?
So weird. I was like reading along. She didn't even warn me. I was like reading
I was
along.
like, here's some books to read.
Whoa.
She's like, what is this? You were like, I didn't know that was a kind of book. And then you were saying like, what were the books your mother was
Well, yeah,
reading?
because Grammy used to read Harlequin Romance and all those, and it was like, oh.
With like the shirtless man on the cover and stuff, and you're like, was she reading this kind of stuff?
Now we're like, we have to get a Harlequin Romance to see
That's what's gonna be one of the books Mom picks out is a Harlequin Romance, just to see what Grammy was reading. So we're gonna go to the bookstore, and you're gonna pick me 4-ish books.
4 books.
I made my mom drive to the mall because I am a passenger princess. I hate driving, so I'm always like, oh, if anyone else is willing to drive. Is it open? Oh no.
It's not open till noon.
It's a Sunday. Stop. Okay, attempt number 2. The mall's definitely open now. First things first, we got coffee. Ooh, it's bright. Mom, do you think that you're noble, loyal, fearless, charming, confident, and courageous?
I don't know how charming I am.
I think you're pretty charming. I don't know what I am. Let's find me. I'm a dog.
That's fitting.
Caring, playful, honest, reliable, considerate, and understanding. Okay, we are at the bookstore. Time to start the mission. Allie said, I really hope your mom picks out a thriller.
Oh.
So keep that in mind.
Okay.
Let's browse. The first book she picked up, I have it, it's on my TBR, but I've never read it. Okay, she says there's one over here that she's thinking. Oh, maybe. I don't know. You tell me. Take a read.
Oh yes, this is the one she's born with a curse. How come so many books are House of now?
I don't know. Also, why do the covers all look the same?
Well, yeah, that you would
I know.
put it.
I know. I agree.
And I can't look at that one because you said.
Oh yes, this is the author. I do not like her books. Salazar likes Slytherin.
I have no intention of training you for any ridiculous circus show, I swear.
Look at all of these LGBTQ plus books. Oh my gosh. It's not actually looking at that. That's a horrible book. We have our 4 picks, and that was harder than I thought. I say though, as the person that wasn't supposed to be picking her books, I might have been influencing my mom a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
But we got 4 picks. I'm excited about every one of them.
And we do read similar books. So
We do. So books that are interesting to you, probably interesting to me.
Probably.
So I'm very happy about these. And it was only $50.
Oh, wow. That's good.
I know. I thought it would be more, but look at that. So look at that. I don't know how many books constitutes a book haul, but we have 3 physical books, and I'm counting the 4th that I'm getting on Kindle Unlimited because I was gonna buy it. I just thought I'd save myself a little money. So these are the books that my mom picked out, and I will say, if I was one of those people that ever did a video, maybe one day I will. Books are a lot of money. But if I was ever one of those people to do a video like this, where you just go feral in a bookstore and the person with you says, okay, you have 5 minutes to browse the store and think of what you want to buy, and then you can buy as many books as you can hold in like a minute or like 2 minutes. I see these videos on TikTok all the time. I would go feral. Like, I know what kind of books I like. I know what books I would like to buy and read next. Like, I have this ever-going list in my head, and me and my mom must have picked up like 20 books at least, and we knew we were only getting 4, and we were walking around with all these books being like, oh, how are we gonna narrow it down? So I would go absolutely so hard. I feel like I would end up spending like $1,000 on books easily. This is the first book in the Grishaverse? Shadow and Bone. It's a Netflix TV show. We all hate that there's a Netflix sticker on that, right? That doesn't come off. It's like printed on the book. That is actually dreadful. Also, I will say that I don't like that this cover doesn't extend all the way. I don't like that the cover is shorter. Can you see that? The cover is shorter than the book. That just feels weird to me. I've been wanting to read it for so long, and I've been on the wait list from the library, but it's just never come my way. So it says, soldier, summoner, saint, orphaned and expendable. She may not survive her first trek across the shadow fold. Then she releases a magic she doesn't know that she possesses, and now she's entering a lavish world of royalty and intrigue as she trains with the Grisha, her country's magical military elite. So I think this is gonna be really interesting. It's a fantasy book, obviously, and it's YA. She got me one thriller pick. This is called The Silence in Her Eyes. Actually, when I read the back of this, I thought that it sounded like a movie that I'd seen. Leah has been living with achinotopsia, or motion blindness. I will say, this is so random, but my degree from university is in neuroscience, and I took a lot of classes on the eye, and I have never heard of this disorder, I don't think. So motion blindness, since she was a child, for the last 20 years, she hasn't been able to see movement, experiencing the world as a series of blurry still images. Her mother dies, and then she leads a quiet, ordinary life with little human contact beyond her longtime housekeeper, her doctor, and her elderly neighbors. That all changes when Alice moves into the apartment next door. Leah can immediately smell the anxiety wafting off of her. Then one night, Leah wakes up to someone in her apartment. She blacks out, and in the morning is left wondering if she dreamt the episode. Yet the scent of the intruder follows her everywhere. When she hears Alice through the walls pleading for help, Leah will make a decision that will test her courage, her strength, and ultimately her sanity. That sounds good. I probably didn't need to read you the entire back of that. So that is the thriller. And then another kind of different book. We went all over for genres, I feel like. Thanks, Mom. This is a lesson in vengeance. You can see that I already started it when I got home from the bookstore. So it says, the dark queer academia novel fans of the genre have been waiting for. I'm very excited. I want to make it a goal to read more lesbian and queer fiction, because I find that it's not something that I hear talked about very much. They're not like popular books, if you'll say. Like, I don't see books about lesbian couples trending on TikTok. Felicity Morrow is back at Dalloway School. It is a really old, very elite private school for girls only, I believe, after the tragic death of her girlfriend. She lives in a dormitory rumored to be haunted by the Dalloway Five, a group of students who all died mysteriously. Some say they were witches. And when history begins to repeat itself, she will have to face that there's darkness in Dalloway and in herself. This far in, it feels like a little witchy, a little ghosty, a little paranormal. We'll see if that's how it ends up turning out, but it's very fun and I'm enjoying it so far. And then the other book I ended up getting on my Kindle just because we were gonna buy it and I realized I had it on Kindle Unlimited, or it's on Kindle Unlimited, so why not? It's called House of Ash and Shadow. That's what it looks like. It's by Leah Stone. So I have already started this one too because I was so excited to start filming this video. I just could not wait. So that is another fantasy book. It is about fae. So there is this group of fae that are exiled to outside of like I think it's called a gilded city, like the fancy spot where all the fairies live, and the people that are exiled all don't have magic, and they very much seem to care in the society how much magic you have. So all of these people are forced to live in squalor outside of the city, and that's where the main character lives. She has been cursed and abandoned as a baby so that she feels incredible pain anytime anyone touches her skin. It's good so far. I don't actually know more about what it's about than that, but it's exciting. I love starting a new fantasy series. We'll see if it's a good one, if we'll carry through. I want to say that there's 3 books in the series. I actually have no clue, so I don't know why I guessed. But that's the little book haul. That is what we're going to be reading, and I am so excited. I am so tired, but I want to read so bad, so I'm gonna have a caffeinated bubbly. This is like a bubbly bounce. We do not have caffeinated bubbly in Canada, so this is such a treat. My mom brought these back the last time she went to Florida, and oh my god, she's amazing. I love this. So my goal for tonight is to completely and totally put my phone away. I'm gonna hide it under the pillows and not look at it at all because I feel like I have been like mindlessly scrolling so much, and I'm not about that life. I want to be doing productive things like talking to my wife or reading. I think that I'm going to start by reading this, A Lesson in Vengeance, which I'm so excited about. I'm so glad my mom picked this up. I think I said, but our bookstore that we went to had a huge selection of LGBTQ plus books, and they all looked so good. And I saw Priory of the Orange Tree on there, and I didn't realize when people recommended I read Priory of the Orange Tree, and I got it and haven't read it because it was very intimidating. It's so big. I didn't realize that it's a queer novel, so I'm very excited about that. And as a lesbian myself, I think we need more queer books and stuff, so I'm very, very excited about reading this. And I will say it feels so satisfyingly floppy. Like, there's something very satisfying about this. So I am reading A Lesson in Vengeance. I have made a great dent in this book and I'm liking it. It's a little horror-y, I would say. But this horror-y, horror-y, yeah. Allie got me a Dairy Queen cake for Valentine's Day, and I'm gonna just sit here and eat as much of it as I want while I read. I couldn't eat the whole thing. That's too much cake. Look at my pink bow. The pink backdrop. Allie is going to take some photos of the animals and our twins for Valentine's Day. I'm wearing a pink, like it's just so pink. I read this so fast, shockingly fast. I devoured it, you might say. I would say it's paranormal. It's described as a dark academia book, which honestly I don't know what that means. So it's very dark, it's very twisted. I would give it 4 stars. I read it really quick and I really liked it. I will say that a lot of the critiques that I was looking at after the fact, after I read it, when I was reading other people's reviews to see what they thought, were very valid, things that I as a white person had not considered, sadly. Like the fact that the only black character serves just to give like a few lines about racism and how racism is bad. But this book gave me the creepy crawlies. There was a number of times that I was like, ooh, that's creepy, which I don't read a lot of really creepy books, but I'm happy that I did. I'm glad that my mom picked this one out. I love a queer storyline. I want to read more of those in the future, so I'm really happy that I picked this one up. It's witchy, it's ghosty, it's gay. And I have also been flying through the book on my Kindle as well. It's called A House of Ash and Shadow. It's this book, the Cursed Fae book. It's good so far. I will say it seems pretty juvenile. Maybe it's gonna be a YA. Again, I didn't research these, my mom picked them out. I mean, it's fine. I love a nice quick read, and this is definitely that so far. It's also a pretty short book. I knew that when we had the physical copy at the bookstore. It's only 296 pages, which feels short for a fantasy book for me because I find that they're always monsters. But honestly, I'm liking that it's shorter because I have just finished the third Crescent City book, and that was just a monster to get through. So it's fun to have some just short little reads here and there. So I'm really liking it. I am 47% into it already, and my mom only left on Sunday. We went to the bookstore on Sunday, and it is currently Tuesday. So that is how quickly I have been reading these books. So if that says anything, my mom's picks are pretty good so far. This book, it's definitely YA. It is like teenage romance. There's twin brothers. I'm gonna just read you out the lyrics, okay? You're bad news. I should hate you, but I find myself wondering what your lips would taste like on mine. I guarantee that that song is about our main character. So there's like twin brothers, are identical twins. They're Fae princes, of course. And one is like the grumpy boy, and the other is like a sunshine golden retriever boy. And I guarantee that she is going to have to pick between the twins. And I guarantee that's where this is going. It's not a spoiler because it's in the first half of the book, and we can all see this, right? I will say I've read a few more pages, and I will say what I want about it being YA, and I don't read a ton of YA fantasy hardly ever, but this book has me smiling and giddy like a little schoolgirl. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I have felt this way about a book in so long. Like, look at this smile. So 57% done this book, and I would say so far it's reminding me of a fantasy slightly darker, obviously darker because it's fantasy and there's fighting and stuff, but version of The Summer I Turned Pretty is the vibe I'm getting. I'm not feeling good, so I'm just gonna read in bed for a bit and relax. I have started this, The Silence in Her Eyes, the thriller one. Book number 3 that my mom picked, and I've made a huge dent in it yesterday. Let's see if I'll finish it today. Typo. Missing a, oh my god, I want to call it a conversation starter. You know what I mean. And I feel like that M should not be capitalized. Done, and I'm seeing this only has 683 ratings and less than 300 reviews. I'll give a full breakdown of what I thought of this when I'm feeling a little better, but as of right now, it's a 3-star read. It probably could be a 2-star, but let's be optimistic, give it 3. It was nice, really short, very choppy, very short chapters. I didn't find all of the science really believable, which kind of took me out of it. Like, she says that they did studies on her where they put things through her pupils so they could see how she sees, and that just does not seem right to me. Oh my gosh, I have been absolutely flying through these books that my mom picked. Let's start by talking about the book that I got on Kindle. So it is The House of Ash and Shadow. It is YA. 0 spice level at all in this book. I don't even think, there's not even a kiss. If Summer I Turned Pretty was a fantasy book, it would be this book. It was so cutesy. Like, I actually loved it. I ended up giving it 4 stars, but I was between giving it 4 stars and 5 stars just because this book made me like giddy. Like, I don't know why, but I was reading it with like such a smile on my face. I was like, ugh, there's something about those like really teen feeling books that just get me sometimes. So this was one of those, and I really liked it. I will say there were some things though that kept it from being a 5-star read for me. If I was a teenager, this would have been a 5-star read right off the bat. Interactions between her and her familiar gave me the ick. There was something like too casual, like the words and like the way that they said things just didn't flow for me very well, and that was like the number one thing that I was like, I don't like that, and it's making me maybe bring this book down to a 4. But I was honestly between 4 and 5 stars for this book, and I liked it so much that the second I finished the first book, instead of picking up one of the other books I have to read for this video, I started reading the second book in the series because it was just so good. Okay, and next, my thoughts on The Silence in Her Eyes. I don't know. The twist was kind of just like, I didn't see it coming, but like, it almost didn't feel believable. I think that I don't like that I didn't see it coming. I didn't feel like there were signs along the way that it was going to end the way that it did. So it was just fine. I think this was just a fine thriller. I have nothing else to say about it. I think I've said she has motion blindness. She can't see movement. I'm honestly between giving it 2 stars or 3 stars. But I read it really quick, so it couldn't have been bad. So I must give it 3 stars. That's what we're going with, 3 stars. I just dropped my camera and broke it. It seems to still be working, but a piece came out and now the battery is not being held in place. So we'll see how this goes. I think I'll probably need to get it replaced. I don't want to have to spend the money on a new vlogging camera, so I'm going to try to just get it fixed. But I leave for vacation in less than a week, and I planned on vlogging everything for my other YouTube channel and then also do like a reading on vacation video for you guys. And now the camera's broken. So keep your fingers crossed that either it works fine with the battery popping out like that and like the door will hold it in without the little piece, or that it's a quick, easy fix. Tell me how I didn't know that I had already started this book. So I was reading it last night and I just was thinking to myself, a lot of this is sounding really familiar. And I didn't know how. I was like, huh. And I look at my Libby app, which is how I get ebooks out from the library, and I had got an ebook of this book out last summer and read 20% of it. So that's how I knew what was happening. But I'm not in a reading mood. Currently on page 118, and I just want to finish this book, especially because, like I said, I'm going on vacation and I have 2 books I need to read before I go so that I can edit the videos that'll be going up when I'm away. So I just, fingers crossed I get it all done, but also I just need to read this. But it's just not hooking me in yet, and I think it's because I knew what was happening. And I was really confused. How did I not realize that I got it out of the library? The reason I hadn't finished it when I got it out of the library was because you only have 2 weeks if it's a popular book, and I was reading a bunch but also like really busy in the summer, and I did not have time to read it, and I tried, but obviously I only made it 20%. Hi, Rosie. I think my goal is going to be to read 30 pages to get me to like 150 during this nap, and then I'll feel like accomplished. Oh my gosh, so I am 239 pages in, and the twist I did not see coming. Oh my gosh. This is so good. I'm really enjoying this. I finished this, and I don't think that I told you anything about my thoughts. So let's dive into that. You'll probably hear my kids in the background just making a little bit of noise, but they're eating. I have some time to chat. So Shadow and Bone was the 4th and final book of the 4 books my mom picked that I decided I would read. I have been waiting to read this book for years. It has been on my book wish list. I've just been waiting for the perfect time to read this, And I just feel like I was maybe a little let down because I had hyped it up so much in my head. Not because it was a bad book. It's a YA fantasy book, so no spice in this. There was no spice in any of the books that I read in today's video. I don't know if my mom did that on purpose, but I'm gonna guess that she didn't, because one of the books that she picked up as an option that she didn't go with was Haunting Adeline. So I will say there were some twists and some turns that I didn't see coming. What did I rate this? I don't know where my phone is. Here it is. I don't remember at all what I rated this. I do keep track on my Goodreads though of everything that I have read, all my ratings. So 4 stars. It is 3.93 stars on Goodreads out of almost 1 million ratings, 946,000 ratings. I was pretty on par with what people think of this. The character building was good. The world building is really good. I'm excited to see where the rest of this series will take me, but it's a 4-star for me, mostly because I didn't finish this and go, oh my god, I need to read the next book in the series. I need to know what happens next. I was like, oh, that was pretty good. One day I'll probably finish the series, but I haven't read anything in so long that has made me be like, I need to know what happens next. Oh my god, that was a 5-star read. I'm thinking about it all the time. I read this and then thought, that was good. I liked it. And then I haven't really thought about it since because I finished it a few days ago, which isn't really a good sign for me. So I have now finished all 4 books that my mom picked. I want to see if she has some time to FaceTime me this week at any time. I'm sure she'll have time, and I will do maybe a little like recording, and her and I can discuss these 4 books and my thoughts, and she'll help me finish up the video. So I'm sure that'll be the next thing you see. I don't know why I needed to preface it like you're not going to be watching it in 3 seconds. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, are you ready to talk about the books?
What books are we talking about?
The ones that you picked out for me.
Oh, okay.
You're like, I forgot I did that.
I don't know, what books are we talking about?
I just texted you and was like, hey, do you want to talk about books? You're like, sure. These books. Okay, so you picked out 4 books for me to read.
Did you read them all already?
Yes, I read them all. I was done Sunday, I think. It's Saturday. Saturday I finished them and Allie was like, that wasn't even a week. We went out on Sunday and we picked out these books. Like when I gave you this video idea, I was like, oh, it's just because I won't be seeing you for a while. Like we'll film this clip now and then like I'll read these at some point. And I just read them all right away. So let's be honest, this is the one that I did pick this. Because you said picking a thriller was too much pressure. It was bad. It was a bad book. I went with 3 stars because I read it really quickly. So you will not be held liable for that.
Okay.
This was the first one that I read. I read it so quick. I liked it. The Dalloway Five, these 5 women that were accused of being witches in like the 1700s that all been murdered there. I don't normally read anything with like a bit of a paranormalness to it, but I liked it.
I'm excited for that one. That one did intrigue me.
Yeah, it was good. Also, I will say, you didn't pick a single spicy book like a mom. I gave it 4 stars, but, and this might not be a good sign, I haven't thought of it since. There's a bunch of books in the series, and I have not thought once, oh, I should go get the next book.
So it was okay while you're reading it, but it didn't like...
Yeah. It didn't like stick with me. Like, I'll probably finish the series at some point, but I'm not dying to. I'm not like, oh my god, I can't wait to read more about this.
But you gave it 4 stars.
But I gave it 4 stars. Yeah. Not 5 stars, though. Not 5 stars. So,
Okay.
not 5 stars.
You didn't rate the other book, the first book.
Second
book.
4 stars. 4 stars.
stars, okay.
I gave it 4 stars, too. And then, the other book that you picked was The House of Ash and Bone, Ash and Shadow. I don't know, they all sound the same, all the titles. Very YA. Like, I don't know, like, very young adult, very, like, teens. I don't know if you knew that when you picked it up.
No, I did not.
It wasn't like it was in the YA section or anything. It was just at the front of the store. So that's why I gave it 4 stars.
They're witches?
They're fairies. Fae.
Okay.
Of course. I feel like they're just fae in every single book. Like, I don't know.
Familiar with that. It's like, oh, is that witches?
Is it witches? No, they're not witches. I was thinking, though, like, I don't know the last, like, witch book I read, so I'm gonna have to read that next. So overall, the 3 books that you picked were 4 stars. You didn't pick a bad read. You didn't pick a great read. I, in general, have just been, I don't know. So I've read 21 books this year, and I've only rated 1 5 stars.
Well, 5 stars is pretty hard to get. I think 5 stars is, you don't just give that willy-nilly. Like,
I don't know. I feel like last year I was giving it just left and right. So which book are you most excited to read?
The school one. The girl where her girlfriend died. That's the one that I want to read.
I think that's one you'll like the best.
That's the one that I thought about, like, after I left and came home.
You're like, ooh.
Yeah, that book.
Yeah, I want to read that. What did you, do you rate books out of 5 stars?
No, I don't usually, actually. I don't know why. I just never thought about it
You
before
just say
until you started.
Good book, neutral book, bad book.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah,
I would read it again. That's how I rate them. I would read it again.
If you would read it again, it's a 5 star probably. So, end of the video.
End of the video. That's it.
That's it. Thank you for picking my books. That was good. It was fun. It was nice to get, oh my god, I was just about to say it was nice to get new books, but I ordered 8 books yesterday. And with that, it's the end of the video. This is horrible lighting. I'm sorry. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe if you've made it this far. Thank you for all of the support on my book videos. It is going way better than I ever anticipated. I'm shocked that so many of you are enjoying these videos, especially because it's just like reading is a huge hobby of mine, and I've shared my life on social media for so long, and I thought, why not share my book stuff? And it's really fun. I'm really enjoying it, so it makes me really happy that you're enjoying it too. So I will be back probably not next week with another video. So I know I said I was going to try to post every second Saturday, and I have actually been posting almost every single Saturday, but I'm going on vacation, and unless I manage to read a full book tonight and edit the video tomorrow, I will not have it up in time for vacation. So sorry. I will probably be back in 2 weeks. Saturdays, noon, Atlantic time, I post. Thanks for watching. You're the best, and I'll see you so real soon.